All right, guys. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a nice holiday season. Sorry for the brief hiatus. I'm sure you guys get it. Happy holidays. Relax a little bit, spend time with family, watch hockey, and whatnot. But we're back with a banger.
No, another one?
Best players in 2024. So we're going to pick obviously six guys: goalie, winger, center, defenseman, etc. I made one exception on the list just because I think he deserves it. But yeah, let's just jump right in with a pretty obvious one: the Conn Smythe winner, Connor McDavid. I mean, just super obvious, right? Just to start listing off his accolades, right? Wins the Conn Smythe. Obviously, he's an all-star. He had 132 points last season in 76 games because he was injured in the beginning 2023 year. This year, he's 54 points in 36 games. And then in the playoffs, he broke Gretzky's assist record and had 42 points in 25 games, which is just ridiculous, especially going up against the Kings, um, Vancouver, and then the Panthers in Game 7 of that Stanley Cup as well, which they ended up losing. As also he's also a Four Nations pick, obvious enough. But yeah, we're gonna start him right off as the center for Team of the Year, TOTS, 2024 NHL edition. Number two, I think he's the best player in the league. Cough, cough, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Nathan McKinnon. He's for me the best player in the NHL. Um, he's the absolute dog. Won the Ted Lindsay last year. Won the Hart Trophy last year of 140 points. Um, in the 82 games that he played. This year, he leads the league. He leads the league in points this year with 65 points at the time of this recording. Last year in the playoffs, he had 14 points in 11 games. All-star, Four Nations, just the best player in the league. This guy is so dominant. When he gets his feet going, it's like you're not stopping this guy. Like, let's be honest. Like, his shot's unbelievable. His playmaking ability is unbelievable. And the fact that Mikko Rantanen thinks he deserves more money than him is just beyond me. So, I understand he's a center, right? But this guy's too good not to stay on the list, to keep off the list. And he'll go on the left. We'll go left wing for now. Let's just move on to his teammate. Defenseman, I had a few names I was jumbling with, but I think Cale Makar is one of those guys that his offense is really good. He had 9 points last year. Um, but his defensive game also speaks numbers. His power play helps out that team a lot. The Colorado Avalanche. Super skilled defenseman whose game in the last few seasons just doesn't seem to decrease. He had that Stanley Cup. He won the Calder. He did get the Conn Smythe as well. In like 2021, I think they won. Um, Last year, he was a Norris candidate. Like I said, 90 points, average 25 minutes. This year, so far, he's 49 points, leads defenseman in points, averages 25 minutes again. And then in the playoffs last year, losing in the second round, he had 15 points in 11 games, averaging 27 minutes. But I think Kale McCarr, I think he's too dominant to keep off the list, A. And then B, he's the Norris favorite right now. We'll talk about another Norse favorite later in this video, but yeah, Cale Makar. There was other defensemen like Roman Josi had a good 2024, but I was just thinking last year, this year thus far, how do you not give it to him? But a man who had who I sort of I don't know how I feel about him. He will probably most likely start for USA this Four Nations tournament over Jake Ottinger and Jeremy Swayman, but Connor Hellebuck can't go against a Vezina Trophy winner. Wins Vezina last year. Didn't have the best playoffs of Winnipeg, but nevertheless won the Vezina. His numbers are unbelievable. As I'll put them up. His numbers are ridiculous. He last year he played 60 games, 37 wins. Right now he's 32 games into the season, 24 wins, and very ESPN-y stat for you. Like this is such a random stat, but I guess it's just to show his and Winnipeg's success this year. He's the first goalie in history to get three separate 6+ game win streaks before New Year's hits. Such an ESPN stat, but I mean, kind of just illustrates how um, good and how good the Winnipeg season has been and how dominant he's been as a goaltender. He leads the league in basically every stat as you saw. Sorry, I put up on screen. Um, Save percentage, goals against. I mean, Stolarz was hurt, so that one doesn't really count. And he leads the league with 5 shutouts. Um, I mean, Hellebuck, I think his next thing is he's locked up in after this offseason, he's locked up in Winnipeg for what 7 more years now. So I think they just want to turn the page. Hopefully, this playoffs they'll go far. Especially with Kyle Connor, he's playing unreal. Jake Morrissey, Neil Pionk, Scheifele, Velarde. They have a lineup to do so, and interesting team to watch out for. And Connor Hellebuyck, he's a name that has to stay on the list because not many goaltenders have been better than him in the year of 2024. But moving on to a guy who probably had arguably just his, well, not arguably,
What?
career high in points for him, came out of nowhere, almost. Sam Reinhart. I mean, Stanley Cup winner, first off, right? He in the playoffs last year he had 16 points in 24 games, 10 goals, 6 assists. Last year he had 94 points, like I said, career high, 57 goals for him. This year he's 40 games played, 46 points, and 22 of them are goals. So it doesn't look like he slowed down a little bit on the goals, but not to the point where it's scary or like it will never happen again. Like he's still really, really good. He still has that goal scoring touch. He still helps out that power play tremendously. And him and Barkov are just like unreal together. Um, as well as Kachuk. But moving on to our sixth and final player of this TOTS year. But before we do that, before I get ahead of myself, I just want to give two honorable mentions and one looking forward to 2025. So I'll give my foreshadowing pick. Jack Eichel. This guy is unbelievable. This year, he's the most dominant player in the league, or one of the most dominant players in the league at this given moment. Still not better than Nathan McKinnon, but the Vegas team in general is unbelievable, right? And then adding Jack Eichel, who's going to break his career high in points this year, for VGK, and him, Barbashev, Stone, whoever he's with, like honestly, like it doesn't even matter. Like they're putting up points. Like he puts up 4 points a game, 3 points a game consistently this year so far. So that's my foreshadowing pick for 2025. And then Nikita Kucherov, he was a top three finalist for the Hart, 144 points last year. Didn't put him on because I don't know. I think everyone knows Kucherov's one of the best players in the league. His playmaking ability, his goal scoring threat, his hands, his composure. I think everyone gets that. But it's cool to see a guy like Sam Reinhart come out of nowhere and score 57 goals. So that's why I snubbed him. And then I already talked about, Yossi and, Heiskanen and, etc. Oninger. There's snubs everywhere, all over the lineup. This was just, I think Nathan McKinnon's the best player in the league. Can't argue with Cale Makar, Connor Hellebuck. Can't argue with those guys. Especially can't argue with David. But our last guy, the Norris Trophy winner last year, Quinn Hughes. He's hurt right now, but at the time of this recording, he should be back in the lineup tomorrow or in 2 days' time, whenever Vancouver plays next. But last year he had 92 points, average 25 minutes, and he had 10 points in 13 games in their playoffs, where they ultimately lost to Edmonton in Game 7. This year he's 42 points in 34 games, and he is probably Vancouver's arguably most important player, behind, or probably I'd say he's their most important player in front of JT Miller and Elias Pettersson, especially what's going on between them two, and just both of their inconsistencies. So, just reiterate, we got McDavid. Actually, no, we're gonna put McDavid on the wing, Nathan McKinnon, Sammy Reinhart, Quinn Hughes, Kale, Hellbuck as the Rock in the back. That's my team of the year. Subs could be like Cooch, um, Yossi. Put Jake Ottinger in there just because I can't think of any. Oh, Bobrovsky as well. Um, and I said other names, but I'm sure you guys understand. Matthews, 70, almost 70 goals. Nylander. There's a bunch of guys in the league that deserves it, but those were just my top six that I thought of quickest in my head because that was the whole point of this video. When you think of the NHL's team of the year last year, who's the first six guys that you think of in your head? So that's how I went about it. But hope you guys enjoyed. We'll have more videos soon to come once we get back to school, honestly. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. See ya.